The desert wind, a perpetual sculptor of the landscape, whispered ancient secrets around Ilara as she meticulously brushed away centuries of dust. Her brilliant mind, a relentless engine of inquiry, had always chafed against the established narratives of history. For Ilara, the official story of Egypt felt incomplete, a carefully constructed facade hiding a deeper, more profound truth. Her family's disgraced legacy, tied to a discredited archaeological theory generations ago, fueled her ambition, a silent promise to vindicate their name by uncovering the true origins of this magnificent civilization. Beside her, Kyle, a government official whose charisma was as sharp as his tailored suits, observed with an unnerving intensity. He was Ilara's patron, funding her most audacious digs, yet his enigmatic gaze often held a depth that hinted at agendas far removed from academic pursuit. He moved through the bureaucratic labyrinth with effortless grace, a man with powerful, shadowy connections woven into the very fabric of the nation's elite. It was during a routine excavation within the sprawling complex of a known pharaoh's tomb that Ilara's world shifted irrevocably. Her team, following a hunch born from a faint seismic anomaly, discovered a hidden chamber. It wasn't merely an annex, it was a self-contained vault, sealed with a precision that defied the known capabilities of the era. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of untold ages, and the walls gleamed with symbols unlike any recorded in established Egyptology. This was no mere burial site. It was the lost tomb of Ethel, a name that echoed from a history deliberately erased. Initial findings were staggering. The chamber's construction hinted at an older, forgotten civilization, one possessing an understanding of engineering and materials science that transcended anything attributed to ancient Egypt. Intricate carvings depicted constellations that had long since shifted, and strange metallic artifacts hummed with a residual energy, suggesting advanced technology. This was not just a different chapter, it was an entirely different book, a sophisticated belief system and technological prowess predating established Egyptian history by millennia. As Ilara delved deeper, she unearthed ancient texts inscribed on a resilient, unknown material. These weren't hieroglyphs. They were symbols of profound complexity, detailing a cataclysmic event that reshaped the world. And speaking of a great deception perpetrated by a powerful, unknown entity, the texts hinted at a deliberate obscuring of truth, a rewriting of history to serve a hidden agenda. Kyle's interest, already piqued, intensified dramatically. He offered Ilara unlimited resources, his support seemingly unwavering, yet a subtle control began to emerge. Access to preliminary findings became restricted. Certain artifacts were whisked away for further analysis before Ilara could fully document them. He seemed particularly fixated on specific symbols, his eyes lingering on them with an almost reverent intensity. Then came the betrayal. A trusted colleague, a man Ilara had confided in, a scholar she had considered a friend, leaked her preliminary findings to a sensationalist media outlet. The reports painted Ilara as a deluded academic, her theories dismissed as outlandish fabrications, her evidence twisted into elaborate hoaxes. Public ridicule and professional ruin descended upon her like a sandstorm. The whispers grew louder, accusing her of fabricating history just as her ancestors had been accused. Yet Ilara's conviction, far from faltering, only strengthened. The public outcry, the professional ostracization, it all felt orchestrated. She began to notice discrepancies in Kyle's official records, subtle inconsistencies that spoke of manipulation. His growing obsession with the symbols from Ethel's chamber, once merely curious, now felt sinister. Then a cryptic message arrived, an anonymous source, warning Ilara of Kyle's true intentions and the profound danger she now faced. The sands shifted beneath her feet, revealing not just an ancient secret, but a modern conspiracy. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. The anonymous warning, a stark message delivered through a burner phone, had shattered the last vestiges of Ilara's trust in the established order. Now an outcast, her reputation in tatters, she sought sanctuary and answers within the shadows of society. Her journey led her to a clandestine gathering in a forgotten library, dust motes dancing in the single shaft of moonlight piercing a grimy window. Here, she found the underground network of historians and truth-seekers, a disparate group united by a shared suspicion of official narratives and a quiet, burning desire for truth. They had long suspected a cover-up, a deliberate manipulation of history. They spoke of suppressed knowledge, of artifacts disappearing from museum archives, of scholars whose careers had been mysteriously derailed after questioning accepted timelines. Ilara's story, far from being dismissed, was met with grim nods of understanding. They revealed to her the existence of a clandestine order, an organization dedicated to protecting what they termed the Great Deception, ensuring humanity remained ignorant of its true past. It was during one of these hushed meetings, deep beneath the labyrinthine streets of Cairo, that Kyle finally revealed his true colors. He appeared not as a pursuer, but as an unexpected visitor, his presence chilling the air. His charisma, once a comforting veneer, now radiated an almost predatory confidence. He was the leader, he declared, of the Order of Ethel, the very organization the network had been investigating. The name resonated with a terrifying familiarity, echoing the tomb Ilara had discovered. Kyle offered her a place within their ranks, a chilling invitation to join the very architects of the historical lie she sought to expose. He spoke with an eerie calm, explaining their mission not as malevolent suppression, but as a necessary evil. To them, maintaining the established historical narrative was paramount, the only way to prevent global chaos. He painted a vivid, terrifying picture of societal collapse, of humanity fracturing under the weight of a truth too immense to bear. A truth that would invalidate millennia of cultural and religious foundations. Their hidden power, he claimed, was wielded solely to preserve a fragile peace. Then came the most shocking revelation. Kale's family lineage, he explained, traced back directly to the original architects of the deception. For millennia, his ancestors had meticulously manipulated Egyptian history, crafting the narrative that the world now accepted, all to safeguard humanity from a cataclysmic truth. Ilara found herself caught in a moral dilemma of impossible proportions. Exposing the truth, her lifelong quest, now carried the potential for devastating consequences. A global upheaval, Kale so convincingly articulated. The weight of potential societal collapse pressed down on her, a crushing burden. As if to deepen the torment, the underground network unearthed ancient documents, revealing her own family's ancient, deeply buried connection to the Order of Ethel. Her disgraced ancestors weren't just victims of a flawed theory. They had been tangential players, perhaps unwitting, within the very conspiracy she was fighting. This revelation added a searing layer of personal betrayal, a profound sense of responsibility she never anticipated. The stakes escalated dramatically when news reached her that a close ally from the underground network, a kind old historian named Omar, had been captured. His disappearance was swift, brutal, a clear message from Kyle. Ilara knew she had to act, and quickly. The choice was no longer abstract. It was personal, immediate. Omar's fate, and perhaps humanity's, rested on her next move. She then learned of Kyle's ultimate plan, to activate a device within Ethel's chamber, the very chamber she had discovered, which would permanently erase all evidence of the true history, sealing the deception forever. It was a race against time. Ilara knew she had to re-enter the tomb, now undoubtedly heavily guarded, to retrieve a crucial artifact or piece of information before Kale executed his catastrophic plan. The sands of time were running out, and the serpent of deception was tightening its embrace. The air within the tomb grew heavy with anticipation as Ilara, a ghost in her own discovery, navigated the treacherous labyrinth. She moved with a desperate urgency, her footsteps echoing against ancient stone, each turn bringing her closer to the heart of the deception. Kale's security forces, formidable and unyielding, patrolled the narrow passages, their presence a constant threat. Yet, fueled by Omar's capture and the impending erasure of truth, Ilara's resolve remained unbroken. She bypassed tripwires, deciphered forgotten glyphs that served as warnings, and slipped through shadowed chambers, her archaeologist's instincts now honed into a survivalist's cunning. Finally, she stood in the deepest chamber, Ethel's sanctuary, a place of profound silence now shattered by the hum of machinery. Kyle was there, his back to her, overseeing the final preparations for the device's activation. The chamber pulsed with an ominous energy, ancient power coalescing with modern technology. Ilara stepped into the light, the crucial artifact clutched tightly in her hand, a small, intricately carved obsidian prism, pulsing faintly with its own internal light. This was not merely a relic, it was the key, a device designed to project the true history to the world, to shatter the fabricated narrative Kale had so meticulously maintained. Kale turned, his eyes, once filled with a patronizing warmth, now cold and sharp as obsidian shards. A tense standoff ensued, the air thick with unspoken history and the weight of two opposing futures. He appealed to her, his voice a low, persuasive rumble, painting vivid pictures of the chaos that would engulf humanity if she unleashed the truth. He spoke of a new dark age, of societies crumbling under the weight of invalidated beliefs, of the very fabric of civilization tearing apart. He invoked her family's name, reminding her of their ancient connection to the Order, suggesting she was bound by blood to uphold his mission. Ilara, however, saw through the veneer of his rhetoric, recognizing the fear of losing control, the desperation of a man whose millennia-old legacy was on the brink of collapse. With a defiant surge of adrenaline, Ilara raised the obsidian prism. Kyle lunged, a desperate blur of motion, but he was too late. With a primal roar of determination, she activated the device. A blinding flash of light erupted from the prism, followed by a kaleidoscopic burst of energy that coalesced into a holographic projection. Across the globe, on every screen, every digital surface, a breathtaking, irrefutable vision unfolded. It was the true, ancient Egyptian history. Not the sanitized version, but a vibrant tapestry of an advanced, forgotten civilization, their technological prowess, their profound connection to the cosmos. The cataclysm that had brought them to ruin, the great deception that followed, orchestrated by Kale's ancestors, it all played out with stark, undeniable clarity. The world watched, stunned into silence, as their understanding of history shattered into a million pieces. The aftermath was immense. Kale's order, exposed and dismantled, crumbled under the weight of global outrage. The repercussions of the truth were immense, plunging humanity into a period of profound introspection, disbelief, and fear. Ilara, once a disgraced outcast, now stood as a global figure, burdened by the immense responsibility of guiding humanity through this new, terrifying reality. She dedicated her life to rebuilding history, to honoring the forgotten, ensuring that such a profound deception could never again take root. Years later, the world had begun to heal. A new era of understanding and collaboration had dawned, inspired by Ilara's unwavering courage. Humanity grappled with the implications of its true past, not with despair, but with a renewed sense of purpose, a collective hunger for authentic knowledge. The scars of the past remained, but they served as potent reminders. Ilara, her face etched with wisdom and a quiet strength, stood on a sun-drenched terrace overlooking the revitalized Nile, its waters flowing as ever towards a new dawn. The truth had set humanity free, and in its embrace, a fragile but undeniable hope had blossomed.